Hi guys, hope you're all okay. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. You'll see in front of me 4 little boxes. These have been kindly sent to me from Senhaix, straight from China. They're a brand new model of radio that has just been starting to ship this week, and they are the 1400 series of radios. So in front of me I've got the 1410, the 1420, the 1430 and the 1440. They're all the same radio, they just have different cases, so you can customize whichever one you prefer. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you all the 4 little radios. We'll have a look inside the box, look at what you get, we'll go through the setup and operation, we'll look at the programming as well, and then in part 2 we'll do some testing with these. From what I've seen so far, they look absolutely great. They sort of remind me of the WLN KDC1 style radios, with a little bit of an extra kick. They are slightly smaller, slightly nicer feel to them, and I just think these are going to be really good. I think they're going to be huge, like the KDC10 was. Fantastic radio, and it just sort of took off, and I'm thinking these are going to do the same thing. Sort of similar to the WLN KDC1, the 2 watts power output on these. They are 400 to 470 megahertz programmable radios, so they have 16 channels which you can program up, and you can change the channel on the radio. So what I'm going to do, guys, is bring the camera in. We're going to look at all of these. I'm going to unbox one, but I'm going to show you all 4 different designs, because as I say, there are 4 designs to choose from with these radios, and then we'll look at the programming. Okay guys, so this is the box the radio comes in. See, we've got the radio drawn on the front there. On the back you can see this is the model 1410, but I'm going to show you all 4 models. Output power on these radios is 2 watts, and the frequency coverage is 400 to 470 megahertz. And as I say, they are fully programmable over 16 channels, so it's handy. They're not set channels on these. There is no VFO like in most of these 16 channel radios, but they are fully programmable, which I'll show you further into the video. So if we open up the box, you can see we've got the radio on the top there. We'll just put that to one side for now. If we look underneath here, you can see we've got a charging cable. Now this is a USB one. I'm seeing more and more radios coming out of China now with USB charging capability, which is much better, much safer. So you can charge this from a power bank, from any USB wall adapter. You can charge it in your car, you can charge it from your laptop, and you've also got this plug here that you can use. Depending on which country you're in, you may need an adapter. I'm in the UK, so I'll need the 3-pin converter there, but those are easy to pick up for pence on eBay. And if you're anything like me and you've got loads of Chinese radios, you should have hundreds of them anyway. So that's the charger. We've got a small wrist strap in the box as well. We've also got the belt clip. This is a metal belt clip, which I thought was nice. They're usually plastic on these sorts of radios, but this is a metal one, and it just screws in to these 2 screws on the back like so. And then we've got an instruction manual. So this is in English and Chinese, should you need it. These radios are really simple and easy to operate, so I'm sure you're not going to need the manual, but it's there should you need it. And if we just move the box out of the way, we'll have a look at the radio itself. So you can see the styling on this is really nice. We've got the speaker grill on the front there, we've got the microphone input there, and we've got a PTT on the front as well as a PTT on the side. This is a dual PTT. It doesn't control 2 separate channels, but you can use it like that or like that depending on which you prefer. So I suppose that's quite a nice feature for children. They can push the large button there to talk. We've got a small antenna on the top. We've got a really nice volume control switch there, which allows you to turn the volume up and down, much better than the sort of rotary encoder you'd usually get. That feels quite solid, sort of reminds me of the Motorola style switches you get on some of the radios. On this side we've got the speaker mic port there, and we've also got the USB charging port. Programming actually happens through the speaker mic port, so on your cable rather than via USB. So that's just one thing to bear in mind. If we look at the back, you can see we've got the power on and off switch. We've got the screws there for the belt clip, and if we just take the battery off, you can see inside we've got the some specifications in there. And the battery is the sort of Nokia 3310 style batteries. It's a 3.7 volt 1500 milliamp hour battery pack, just in a different case. So should these break, should you damage it, should you lose it, you could always power this radio from the batteries that go in those Nokia phones, and the also go into the WLN KDC1 style radios. Just while we've got the radios here together, you can actually see there's quite a size difference in these. A lot slimmer and a lot smaller. So as I say, the WLN's quite a big successful radio. I'm expecting these Senhaix ones to be as well. battery just clips on like so, and you're ready to go. Okay, so if we just go to the back of the radio and turn the power on, you hear a beep and it said 3, that means we're on channel 3. So you can turn your channels up and down, 2, 3, 4, like so, and then as I said earlier, you've got a volume up and down switch here. To turn the volume up and down. So I thought that was a really nice feature. I like that. It makes them different, and you'll see the light just pulsed on and off there. That light you can turn off, but that will pulse on and off every 5 seconds just to show you that the radio's on. So Senhaix are calling this the breathing LED, breathable LED. So basically just shows you that the radio's on. So if you've got this on your desk on standby, you know it's still on. You can turn that on and off in the programming, but that isn't going to use hardly any power anyway, so it's nothing that concerns that's going to concern you. So I just left mine on. And there you go. So if we look at the other radios, this is the 1410. If we look at the 1420, you can see some slight differences in the case. These radios all perform the same, guys. They all have the same function inside. They just have a different casing, so you can sort of customize them. So we've got the 1410. This is the 1420 with a slightly different speaker grill. Let's just switch that on. We've got the 1430, which again has just got a slightly different speaker grill on it. As you can see, they're all subtle differences, but I think you'll agree, you probably have your favourites. This is my favourite, the 1430. So again, we'll just switch that one on. And then finally we've got the 1440. This is probably the most different out of all of them. It's got the speaker grill all the way around it, but again, operation is the same, guys. So there we go, we've got all 4 radios, the 1410, 1420, 1430, and of course the 1440, and you can see the little breathable LEDs going off there. So let me know which one's your favourite, guys, in the box below. For me it's number 3, the 1430, but let me know. I'm sure you'll all have your different opinions on these, but yeah, number 3 is the one that sticks out to me. But these are all nice, and again, as I say, they all operate exactly the same. So should you buy these, it doesn't matter which one you get, they'll all operate exactly the same because they are the same radio inside. They just have the customizable fronts, and as I said earlier, you can see the WLN KDC1 is quite a considerable size, bigger than this. WLN slightly heavier as well. These are a really nice, lightweight, compact radio. As you can see, perfect for going in your shirt pocket or your back pocket or wherever you should need to bob it. Okay guys, so that's the basic setup and operation of these. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in the laptop and we'll look at programming. It's really simple. Okay guys, so this is the SHX 1400 programming software, and it's quite a simple piece of software, as is with a lot of these Chinese radios. Basically what you need to do is plug the radio in to your programming cable, plug the cable into your laptop or computer, and if you open the software, go on settings, Setcom, and select your communication port, you can then read and write to the radio. So I'm going to read the radio here because I've already put some stuff in it. It'll ask you for a password. You don't need to put a password in, just click on read and it will read the data from the radio. So you can see I've just put some local repeaters, local 70cm, some local PMR channels in there, and it is as simple as putting in your receive frequency and your TX frequency for a simplex channel. You can put in a decode CTCSS or an encode CTCSS. You set your transmit power to high or low. You can add it or delete it from the scan list, and you can do your wide and narrow deviation. Now if you click on more, it will just give you the option to edit some of the same settings in there. You can go through your different 16 channels and edit those separately, but it's basically the same information. It just gives you the option to put the compander and scramble on. So if we just close out of that to do a repeater, it's the same principle. You just put in the repeater's output, the repeater's input. We've got a transmit code of 82.5 because that's the tone that the repeater uses, and all the other settings are the same. Now if you look on edit, we've got function set up. You can turn your timeout timer on or off, timeout timer warning on or off, set your squelch level, always keep it to 1. Voice prompt off, Chinese or English, keep that on because you'll need it to know which channel you're on when you press the up and down buttons. Volume level is standard. I've just set to mid-range at 4 because you can change the volume on the switch on the top. We've got battery save function, which will keep it on. Scramble, which will disable, and there's your breathing LED function. So if you want that LED to stop flashing, you can just turn that off, but I'm going to keep it on. We've got Vox function here, so we can set Vox and the Vox level. It's quite straightforward. And that is basically the programming. So again, if we close out of that, what you can then do is click on write. You don't need to put a password in, as I said before. Click write, and that'll send the data straight to the radio. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I'm sure you'll agree these are a great little radio, very much in line with the WLN KDC1 style of radio, but I think they definitely do have that little bit of an extra kick. I love the dual PTT on them. The breathable LED is a nice little feature as well. Really like the volume switch, up and down switch on the side, much better than the rotary encoder. Yeah, really happy with them. I think the battery is another little added bonus because you could easily replace them should you have any issues with it, should you damage it or anything like that. So yeah, decent little radio, nice and chunky, easy to program. What more can you ask for? So that's part 1 guys. Stay tuned for part 2 coming soon. I'm going to do some testing with these radios. We'll do some short and longer range testing with them and just see how they perform. I've got no concerns about how these are going to perform. I think they're going to be great, and if they're anything like the WLN KDC1, I think they'll absolutely take off. So we'll leave that one there guys. If you have any comments, suggestions, feedback, anything like that, drop them in the box below and I'll get back to you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, then make sure you subscribe. You can see in the background we've got plenty more radios to be going at as well guys. There's loads more coming on the channel. And if you want to buy these radios, the purchase links are in the description below, so you can check those out and see them for yourself. And we'll leave that one there. Thanks very much for watching guys. 7-3 for now. Cheers.